Original date, June 29th, 2023. Case number 2020.CF002603.AO. Hand delivered July 21st, 2023. Revisions made July 20th, 2023. Original not uploaded to date. Second attempt to make public, like everything else in my case, including all my other letters. Freedom of speech. Mine. All for your review, critique, judgment, understanding. Try it. Clarify, to become or make clear. Clarity, clearness, per the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Where do I even start? Through the officer/inmate grapevine and a letter I received from my fan mail, and usually the only way I find anything out regarding my case, since there is no communication from my current attorney, now 10 weeks, more of complete silence, and yes, my sixth attorney, which I will clarify momentarily. I was made aware my last letter was featured on the news locally, realistically meaning globally. Apparently, my very legitimate, lawful, real questions and concerns I asked and am still caused a stir on top of the already engulfing whirlpool my case has become and made out to look like, which it is not. Hence, my previous questions from said letter. I am trying to protect and maintain my truth, which no one knows since no one else will, however I can, and keep some of the illicit ugliness at bay. Mismanagement at its finest in everything. Why wasn't I included at all? Why wasn't I asked prior to being highlighted so I would know what was said or asked or criticized so I could rightfully defend myself? What was so newsworthy? By not including me is unfair and adds to the assumptions of what everyone wants me to end up being and thinks I am. This is wrong and also adds to the prejudgment of my case. All of the idiotic theories, empty opinions, false accusations is all the ignorant world knows from all the pertinent private case details available to everyone except me, the defendant in my case. How can I defend myself? I can't, so everything gets meaner, more evil, corrupt, and out of control. I believe this is what a trial is for, right? The world is supposed to learn everything about my case during the trial, right? This is not justice or a system, right? All fairness has been completely removed, right? So were any of my questions answered? Was anything at all clarified regarding evaluations, amendments, violations, case sensitivity, protection, suppression? What's the video hit count reach now? My last letter, it was over 3 million. How much does that shareable income make for everyone? Did anyone locate my attorney or discovery? Everything, everyone, everywhere in the world knows, has seen or listened to all of my discovery again, except me? In the meantime, here's a corner piece to my convoluted puzzle all are wondering, and it will finally be put together to see what the real picture is, and also a huge disentanglement of only an inkling of some of the misunderstandings and ignorance swirling about in my case. Before you try wearing my slides, know where they've been. My attorneys. 6. When and as I've said numerous times in my previous letters, why not by choice, I am on a 6th attorney. Here is some clarity so everyone can finally have some understanding why my slides are so worn, but most definitely walkable still. Attorney number 1, private, February 2020 to May 2022. This attorney sold me the world, promised exoneration, and supplied an overabundance of other continuous false hopes so I would accept his offer to become my attorney. He had no idea what my case was going to be or was really about. Then he deserted me, his client, naive and new, 2 weeks before my first scheduled trial due to irreconcilable differences, meaning I was not persuaded enough to agree with what he wanted me to say or do, and was not what happened. There was no trust. There was no strategy, and if there was, I was never included in on it, or an innumerable amount of other case-defining details and questions left unanswered before going to trial. I felt he was sabotaging my case and setting me up for failure due to his micro amount of experience, which I found out after the fact and was not disclosed prior to my acceptance of his representation, in my macro-sized case. Nonetheless, when we did meet to discuss my case and I asked for updates about any progress, he would start talking to me about his client in Colombia, his clown of a sister-in-law, his nephew going to water parks, trips he's taken, his regrets, where he bought his gold sneakers, and many other unrelated, unimportant, time-consuming stories. All the while, I'm trying to figure out what's going on and why he's not answering any of my questions. Nothing was ever completed or accomplished or communicated, building 1,000 fires waiting and needing to be put out before making another to be left ablaze. I was always ignored and in the dark, conjuring the dreadful perpetual question mark looming still over my head. So much, I prepared an 8-page packet for Judge Wayne C. Wooten to provide during both court dates, defending myself against my attorney's untrue, unresearched withdrawals. No one asked me or permitted to speak my truth to help him and the court understand my real concerns, along with all the carryovers since day one. I was trying to avoid going through any of this again going forward. It had already been 2.3 years. I wanted the judge to include me and know I have a side also in everything. I knew Judge Wooten would be appointing my next attorney in hopes he would listen and appoint a more suitable, experienced one accordingly to save time for everyone to progressively move forward. He must have been throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded. This attorney, number one, is untrustworthy, unreliable, unprofessional, with poor leadership skills, and is extremely unorganized. He was unable to perform ethically, and as an adult, ignoring his client, misleading and deceiving. He didn't even respect me enough to speak with before his withdrawal, to try and remedy or figure anything out to stop. I was totally blindsided because of the magnitude of his ineptness and dereliction of duty. As a result, withdrawing from my case at the 11th hour after taking over 2 years with nothing I knew of but disappointment, I could have reported him to the Florida bar for legal malpractice. Exhaustion 1. I'm also still waiting on him to release all of my case files and documents obtained and accrued during his representation, including well over 100 pages of my handwritten notes and information, which is irreplaceable. He is still not helping. Him no longer being my attorney was not my choice. Attorney number 2, 3, 4. Public defenders appointed by Judge/Court. May 2022 to June 2022. Judge Wayne C. Wooten and the court repeatedly appointed me public defenders, 3, without any research or care. And after I continuously explained to each and tried to the judge/court, they could not represent me due to their representations of the decedent. We've done our homework, I was told. I received 3 withdrawals, none by choice. Definitely not systematic. Attorney number 5, conflict appointed by Judge/Court, June 2022 to July 2022. Upon our first and only meeting, this attorney expressed his mass confusion in why he was appointed by Judge Wooten, as he was leaving for a teaching job out of Orlando within the week. I learned more from this attorney in one meeting regarding my case than all the prior combined. It was extremely disheartening he could not continue representation and set the bar going forward, especially regarding honesty and respect. I received only 2 letters from him, one introduction, one withdrawal. He also did not know where any of my discovery was or notes, now 5 attorneys later. Not by choice. Attorney number 6, conflict. Appointed by judge/court, July 2022 to present. 1 year mark, July 11th, 2023. 12 months, 365 days, 52 weeks summarized. 8 total months, 240 days and counting, are with absolutely no communication in any form, completely inactive. Total amount of hours as court-appointed attorney, over 8,760. Total times met with client, me, 6. Total hours spent with client, 7. Total phone numbers given to the client from attorney, 2. Numbers that work, 0. Total times speaking to client via phone, 0. Total number of 15-minute video visits with client, 4. Total number of letters sent to attorney trying to communicate, 8. Total number of letters to the judge trying to communicate my unsuccessful communication with my attorney in hopes he will communicate with him to communicate with me, 7. Letters to other parties to communicate, 3. Total times in court, 3. I was an attempted withdrawal, 2 carryover, and over. The last time I saw my attorney, May 18th, 2023. Where is the progress after 1 entire complete year? Unknown. Everyone, please look on the Orange County, Florida Clerk of the Court's website and see for yourself. Am I looking at it wrong? Reading the contents incorrectly? The mass majority of work seems to be from my correspondence. If not my letters, there's minutes, some live, to view from my non-progressive, lackluster court dates stating the same information and same continuances, and of course, none of my comments, concerns, or questions from any. I don't just sit there. Edited, like my case. I feel important also to communicate to everyone so you understand the undertaking it is for an inmate to attend court and why it is so important to me to have progress, to report, to make the day count. We are woken up at 3 a.m., taken to a holding cell, and wait 4+ hours, then taken to the courthouse and put in another holding cell for however many hours until court time, for only a 5 to 10 minute opportunity in front of the judge to say anything, if at all. Then taken to another holding cell for however long, transported back to another holding cell, wait however long, then taken to another holding cell and back to our dorm. Most court dates are court days, spending between 8 to 14 hours for little to no time to speak. It's important to me, us, we matter. Hence my letters. What will be said for this one, I wonder? Like Lois looking to the skies for Superman, I'm hoping, praying for an attorney to step up and truly represent me with honesty, intensity, understanding, respect, and perspective. When they introduce themselves, they can, me also, the real me, properly, not the Frankenstein monster I'm being so wrongfully and incorrectly pieced together as from all the propagandized, lucrative defamation and attempted destruction of my character and still intact integrity. Clearly, also, everyone can see all of the aforementioned information regarding my attorneys was not ever a strategy of mine, nor will it be. Is it a strategy of the judge and court? Judge Wooten, will I be included, please, in my upcoming status hearing prior to my PTC, which is also the 1-year mark of my attorney number 6 on 7/11/23? Will I be permitted, I was not, in attendance from you like all the news channels and professional YouTubers? I hope I finally see my attorney, whom will, I'm sure, tell me, as you so graciously explained to me in my last PTC I was made a part of, consuming my minute minutes of your invaluable time, that you and he have other clients. I am a client and have been for over a year with this attorney and paid tax dollars to utilize all of my available resources, including and not limited to a state government attorney appointed by the court. And you will always have clients. You never know when you may become one yourself. Please do not discredit my truth. I am who, not what. Respectful and diligent, Sarah Boone.